Number one, the main jobs of the judicial branch are to blank the Constitution and laws, and to blank if laws are being applied correctly. Two, fill in the blanks to show how a regular court case would move through the three levels of federal courts. Three, how many justices can serve on the Supreme Court? Four, who is the highest ranking person in the judicial branch? The President, B, the Chief Justice, C, the Circuit Justice, D, the Attorney General. Number three, how many justices can serve on the Supreme Court? A, 3, B, 9, C, 13, D, there's no limit. Number five, which of the following is not true about Supreme Court rulings? A, they cannot be appealed. B, they become precedent for future court cases. C, usually more than 7,000 court cases that ask for them every year never get them. D, they can be made about any law at any time without warning. Number six, reread the following sentence from the article. But the circuit court decision or ruling is usually final. That's because so few cases make it into the Marble Palace each year. Using context clues from the sentences and the rest of the article, what can you infer the Marble Palace is? All right, you're going to fill in the missing letters to create a vocabulary word from the article. Then write the full word on the line. Be sure you spell each word correctly. The clue here is type of court at the middle level of the federal court system. Number two, clue, a U.S. judge who sits on the Supreme Court. Number three, vary. Number four, type of court at the lowest level of the federal court system. Number five, to figure out and decide what something means. Number six, different and special, separate. Number seven, handles appeals, another name for circuit courts. 8, a judge's decision on a case. 9, a guideline for judging court cases based on earlier rulings. 10, relating to judges and courtrooms. All right, this is a complicated reading, so I'm going to help you out a little bit with finding those answers. So, all right, so we're going to help you find some of those answers for those questions, because this is definitely one of our more complicated readings. So if we're looking at question number 1, the main jobs of the judicial branch are to, look back into our reading, they interpret. That first fill in the blank is they interpret the Constitution and the laws. And then what else do? They help to figure out and decide if the laws are being applied correctly. All right, moving on down to number 2. Right, it tells us fill in the blanks to show how a regular court case would move through the 3 levels of federal courts. So we want to look right here. This is the paragraph where it starts. It says federal courts are divided into three main levels. Okay, so we're going to get a list here in this paragraph, next couple of paragraphs. Three main levels. The first are the district courts. And that's for the first fill in the blank of number 2, district courts. So then it tells us more about those district courts. There's at least one per state. There's 94 in total. Tells us what the judges did. If the lawyers don't like the decision, they can appeal it. So if a lawyer doesn't like how their case goes in the district courts, they can appeal it to one of the 13 circuit courts. Also important to remember, with the circuit courts, they are also called appellate courts. So for that middle fill in the blank, you can have circuit / appellate courts. Most circuit courts represent 3 or more states. If lawyers still want to appeal, they can ask the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court is the third. Fill in the blank there for number 2, Supreme Court. All right, so number 3, how many justices can serve on the Supreme Court? Okay, so it's not directly stated. It doesn't say 3, it doesn't say 9, it doesn't say 13, right? It says, let's find that section. We're going to be right here. The Constitution doesn't require the number of judges. It does not require, so there is no limit. D, there's no limit. Number 4, who's the highest ranking person in the judicial branch? Their leader is called Chief Justice. All right, for number 5 requires you to listen to that whole article and make sure you remember different facts that you heard about the Supreme Court. So number 5, which of the following is not true about the Supreme Court? Well, A, right, so we want something that's not, something that the Supreme Court doesn't do. All right, they cannot be appealed. A, they cannot be appealed is true. When the Supreme Court makes its ruling, that's it. There's no more complaining. Whatever they say goes. B, they become precedent for future court cases. That is absolutely true. Number C, usually more than 7,000 court cases that ask for them every year never get to go in front of the Supreme Court. So C is also true. And it was right there. 7,000 to 8,000 cases a year. All right. So D is the false answer. D, they can be made about any law at any time without warning. So the Supreme Court cannot just decide a law isn't working. Somebody has to file a case and bring it before them. And finally, number 6, reread the following sentences from the article. But the circuit court decision or ruling is usually final. That's because so few cases make it into the Marble Palace each year. So what is the Marble Palace? It is the Supreme Court. It's the building where the Supreme Court meets.